Hey guys, this is just a little follow-up on that last video I did showing my Edelbrock carburetor and stuff you can do when it's really hot outside. Um, when it gets hot, I guess what happens is the air has less oxygen density in it, you could say. Um, that's from the heat. When the ambient air heats up, you lose oxygen density. Um, and some people will usually try to put more fuel to it, but that doesn't really work, at least in my experiences. Um, some of the other things that I've done as far as the heat goes is I've put in larger drop rods, metering rods, whatever you want to call them. Uh, the next step up, and it's just kind of trial and error from one to the next to the next. You don't want to get too lean, but you don't want to be rich. Um, and sometimes, if you try to give it a bigger accelerator pump shot by moving this rod down to the end, it has a longer shot, so you're getting more fuel. Sometimes you end up making it overly rich, and you'll know it by if you burp the throttle, and you'll see something coming out of your exhaust. It'll usually be like a gray or black, sooty looking exhaust shooting out. Um, you don't want to be too rich, because then you're going to run into other problems. Um, excuse me. Um, if you're getting an exhaust pop, when you a lot of times when you decelerate, you'll know you're too lean. So by changing those drop rods or putting smaller jets in, you can go a little bit smaller on the jets, and then you can play with the drop rods a little bit. Um, uh, you're not going to get anywhere sometimes by messing around with the carburetor. And then I noticed that other people, they try to retard their timing a little bit, and that's not good either, because you're going to make your engine more hot and tend to have more problems. Um, but the wrap that I showed you for your fuel lines, and the wood gasket or a phenolic gasket under your carburetor will do a world of difference. I've had good luck with it, uh, and I think that anyone will. I know a lot of guys already know this stuff, but there's a lot of guys that don't know, and this is more for them. Um, the other thing that I would do is check the plugs. The plugs aren't going to lie to you. After you drive the car a little bit, whether you're having a fuel issue or a hot issue with your engine, your plugs will tell you a lot. You want to try to keep it that light brown, sooty look on the ends of your plugs, uh, and you should be okay. But the timing and adding more fuel, it's really not going to help you. I mean, you could move your timing a little bit here and there, but if you go crazy trying to retard your timing, uh, that's not good, in my opinion. It's the way that, the things that always work for me. So, I mean, it's just things that you can try. You don't want to get too lean. You don't want to be too rich. Um, you just got to kind of find that sweet spot, and you should be okay. The Edelbrocks are pretty simple. You don't get gas all over the place, because you can do pretty much everything uh, without taking the carburetor off. You could change your jets. You can change your drop rods. You can do pretty much almost all of it. Um, on the Hollies, it's You got to take your bowls off to get at the jets. Your secondary jets will probably be fine, but it's the primaries that I've always had an issue with. Um, and that's about it. If you didn't see the other video on the wood gasket, take a look. See what you think. If anybody's got any positive comments, just let me know. Thanks, guys. See ya.